Alright, so let's go over what's been happening this week in VR news on Quest and what we should be expecting in the coming weeks, and some big gaming updates, 30% Quest Store sales, as well as some rumors going around about Meta's and LG's partnership being in hot water. First off, not long after the release of v65, Meta released v66 on the public test channel that gives early access to unreleased software updates and slowly rolls out to the general public later on. So far, without official patch notes, it brings more quality of life features to the Quest Home UI, along with various other planned or being worked on updates from data miner Luna, and it gives details of what other features Meta could bring to the platform. Then we get further development of the Meta and LG partnership not being in the best place and reportedly getting cancelled, not necessarily because they can't deliver the tech, but a difference in ideology in how to go about things in a timely manner and when to deliver the product, resulting in LG wanting to pick out a different partner entirely, and that partner is rumored to be Amazon. Reportedly, the device is rumored to use Google's XR platform instead of Meta's Horizon OS, and maybe LG, like everyone else, was caught off guard that Meta is planning to release its own XR platform with other partners besides LG like Asus and Lenovo. These are just rumors, but they come from the same outlet that reported on the LG and Meta deal before getting finalized. Then in terms of gaming news, Asgard Wrath 2 high-res texture pack is coming and slated to be released in May or June at the latest. I personally have been holding off finishing Asgard Wrath 2 in favor of this patch being released. It should be interesting what comes of it, as it's the largest VR game ever built to date and will be a deciding factor to what we should see in future game releases going forward in terms of optimization and graphics. It should get a resurgence in interest, and hopefully I finally get to make a review on it. Shout out to Luna for making this because I don't use Twitter, and the article lays out some of the features that Meta has been working on. One of the features I noticed immediately, because the experimental tab in settings is such a vital part of the Quest experience, Meta with v66 is bringing a wrist button while utilizing hand tracking. It takes a while to fully kick in after turning on, for me at least, but when working with hand tracking, it can certainly be useful in certain scenarios, and one specific case is while watching movies in VR. Last night while watching 1917 on Quest 3, it becomes useful so you don't have to see your virtual hand overlaying on top of your virtual hand on top of the rendered virtual hand until you reach out for the buttons. Kind of confusing, but I think you get the gist. One of my biggest gripes with Quest specifically is hand tracking, or how it receives any inputs. And how it receives inputs is that it requires constant movement to wake up, or it'll spawn a big white dot in front of you. Slowly over time, Meta with v64, v65 is quickly improving how Quest responds to hand tracking, and it's beginning to mature into becoming way more usable and less annoying to miss inputs while reaching for a drink or stretching your hands. Then we get some lines alluding to a download folder in your app library. We already have an updates folder, but when downloading apps you already have purchased on your phone, downloading will sort them into the notification bell or inside the all app drawer. Quest UI is sometimes weird that it'll show up but it won't show up immediately or freeze up on you. It's probably just a better way to check current installs and how large an update for a game is. Currently there's no way of knowing how large an update is until you install the update, and more customization like with how Steam does it would be welcome. Seeing a graph of how many megabits per second or time remaining as games get larger and larger would be great. Then we get a peek at Meta introducing the Meta AI assistant that we've seen with the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses, and this time it'll target Quest hardware. This line specifically, when you ask Meta AI about what you see, an image will be taken. Ties close into how Meta marketed the Ray-Ban glasses utilizing AI, your own personal AI assistant at a voice reach. And this generation of Ray-Ban glasses has seen more success since a feature like this was added. This is all great, but I imagine the immense amount of data Meta will be farming and selling to advertisers is a goldmine alone. Meta will know more and more about your life, and I can see them under the Meta AI prompt making in ads at the bottom. Maybe I'm just paranoid. We also get a peek at a sensor lock privacy feature that turns off your headset when not worn, a calendar sync feature that allows for better syncing of apps and how information is accessed with the device and should be leveraged by Meta's AI assistant. Content adaptive brightness that adjusts the brightness dynamically based on the scene, allowing for better contrast in darker scenes so it doesn't look as washed out by the LCD panel. Improvements and continuation of Codec Avatars that we've seen used in the Lex podcast. Then custom virtual keyboard sizing and positioning, improved do not disturb so you can set timers for how long you want it to last until it automatically turns off. Also worth mentioning, improvements to Bluetooth, allowing for a feature like quick pair, so I imagine if you put a device like your pair of Samsung earbuds in pairing mode, it should show up in the notifications to avoid always going into the settings to pair them manually. And the ability is also to pair new controllers inside of the headset instead of resorting to the Meta Oculus app on your phone, which which was always crazy to me that you couldn't do this feature inside of the headset. I've gone through at least 6 controllers with Quest 2 and pairing them is always painstakingly slow. Also worth mentioning, v66, for me at least, erased some of my save data on games like Real Legends VR, Underdogs VR, opening up games like Asgard Wrath 2 are unaffected and not that big of a deal for me and part of the PTC experience. Alright, so before I get into the other topic, I do want to mention that in v66 I have something called YouTube Revans that allows you to get YouTube Premium without having to pay. You get stuff like YouTube, Spotify, Reddit, TikTok, etc. YouTube Music as well. And now I can play background audio from the YouTube app. It does take away the functionality of YouTube VR being able to stream 8K video, but I do want to mention now I could play background audio while playing games like Beat Saber or Asgard's Wrath. I just wanted to mention that. Alright, let's move on to the next topic. Moving on, let's go over recent development of Meta's and LG's partnership reportedly halted due to differences in how to approach the industry with a new XR device. All these sources are from Korean outlets and translated via Google. The sources being the Korean Economy Daily and Seoul Economic Daily, reporting significant differences of opinion between Meta and LG. And LG believes there isn't enough synergy between the two companies. LG doesn't see much benefit in working with Meta and sees the lack of available content like traditional entertainment lacking, as with the slow adaptation of VR technology, and that LG is actively looking and talking to another US tech companies, and out of every contender, Amazon is being considered on top of the list in developing a new partnership. A big emphasis is made on Amazon's install base and content with Amazon Prime and Amazon Prime Video. As LG is a TV display maker, it makes sense for them to target a partner that already has a vast library of original movies and TV shows. It's a sector that Meta themselves lack in, and areas where they excel is in the gaming side of things, where Meta has been able to secure exclusives one-upping Sony. Existing services to rent movies or TV shows are severely lacking. This partnership is pushed to target a release date of 2027 instead of the targeted 2025. This photo taken formally showing both Meta CEO and LG CEO coming together after the meeting. LG CEO met with reporters stating the XR headset that the two companies are cooperating with is expected to release in 2025. But if we reflect what is coming out on the market, it may be delayed a little and that it can be done. Not long ago, LG unveiled a new micro OLED display at SID Display Week showing impressive feats like achieving 4K resolution at a brightness of 10,000 nits. 10,000 nits sounds like a lot, but if we were to compare it to the Apple Vision Pro, 5,000 nits, only about 100 nits make it into your eyeballs. A reason why Meta was partnering up with LG was to secure future display technology for a Pro device headset to rival Vision Pro, although LG has cleared up and denied the partnership being cancelled, stating LG Electronics continues the XR partnership with Meta Forge in February, but it's controlling its pace. The major takeaway from this quote is pace. Meta most likely still wants to target the release date of 2025, but LG is hesitant to not overflood the market and delaying the project until 2027. The rumored price of the headset is around $2,000, and hopefully the deal isn't dead in the water because I would really like to get my hands on a high-end XR device that rivals the Vision Pro directly from Meta, because I have already spent so much money on their storefront. It makes switching over to another platform unattractive. To end it off, let's talk about some gaming news, specifically Asgard's Wrath 2 finally getting ready to launch its high-res texture pack. If you remember, during the launch, the discourse was sort of divided. You had both sides of the coin. A 10 out of 10 from IGN, the largest scale VR IP yet, 100 plus hours of gameplay, and free given you purchased a Quest 3 headset. On the contrary, it put Quest 3 at the limelight of why didn't a first-party studio owned by Meta showcase what could be achieved with the latest hardware. Quest 3 was the new kid on the block, but nothing really made it stand out to spend the extra $500 compared to Quest 2. It surely got review bombed shortly after release because of install issues and Quest's mobile graphics. Not long after, Sensor released a statement about the improvements they were going to bring forward, like improved level of detail and a 90Hz toggle. I also voiced some criticism as well, but unhinged people decided to personally attack the devs, and that's a bit too far. And next up in the update is the texture update. I'm really looking forward to what Quest 3 can achieve, but keep your expectations in check. I don't expect a night and day difference, and in this Reddit post it provides images and a preview of what to expect. For instance, in this image, better textures on the mob, and it looks like a significant upgrade. In the post it also mentions changes to environments within the game as well, and I hope this is where all the focus goes towards, because I don't think the mobs were what people were hoping to improve or had issues with, but rather with the environments and set pieces. At At times, this game looks absolutely gorgeous on Quest 3, like in this scene. Then randomly you'll enter an area where the game just falls flat. For instance, Arizona Sunshine 2 that I played 3 times already, twice on PCVR and once on Quest. Even on Quest 3, the update for Arizona Sunshine 2, it feels underwhelming and lacking compared to the PCVR counterpart. It's an entirely different game on PCVR. I'm not a graphics snob. I prefer playing on my Quest headset, and 9 out of 10 games that I play in VR are on standalone most of the time. I really want Asgard Wrath to improve on what's already there and make the world feel more dynamic. Once this patch is released, I'm sure this will be all I play for about a week. Hopefully this game comes to PCVR because it's such a great game to just keep exclusive to a mobile platform. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to discuss in this video. If you liked the video, drop a like down below. Comment your thoughts on upcoming worked on features for future OS updates, the LG Metal partnership, and Asgard Wrath 2 high-res texture pack. Hopefully I see you in the next video, whatever that'll be, and yeah, see ya.